The former National MP Jami-Lee Ross is facing a workplace investigation following complaints which have seen 3 of his staff placed on special leave. But the MP, who threw a grenade in the political landscape in 2018, claims he's being subjected to a politically motivated attack. Our Deputy Political Editor, Craig McCulloch, is at Parliament and joins us now. Craig, what do we know?
Good evening, Lisa. Well, I've spoken to someone who is very close to the situation, and they've told me that a series of concerns or complaints have been raised with Parliamentary Service about Mr Ross's behaviour and action over the past year or so in relation to that botany office, his botany electorate office. Now, I've been told that 3 of the 4 staff who are in that office have been put or currently are on special leave, and that Parliamentary Service has engaged the services of an outside investigator to look into the complaints. Now, we sent an Auckland reporter out to that office earlier today to see if there was anyone there, and sure enough, nobody was home. Mr Ross set up that office back in 2018 after he struck out from the National Party, went out on his own in a rather explosive fashion, dropping a series of bombshell allegations as he went. And at around the same time, a few days later, the newsroom website published its own story, a series of accounts from 4 anonymous women who all accused Mr Ross of harassment and bullying. It was Newsroom again today that broke the story that was first out of the mark this morning. Mr Ross again in the hot seat with fresh questions to answer.
Yeah, so absolutely no word, so nobody at home, but he hasn't put out a statement, nothing?
We have had a statement. He's been particularly hard to get in touch with over the past week or so. He hasn't been responding to reporters' texts or emails, but we did get a written statement today. I have it here in front of me, and what it says is that there is a process underway. He says he is in the dark about the nature of the complaints. He's requested them, he says, but he does not know the nature of them. He has not received them. He says he did not act in an inappropriate manner. He acted appropriately. However, he acknowledges that in this job, it is a high-stress job, it is a high-pressure job, and in a small team, he says not everybody is always going to get along. Regardless, he says he did not act in an inappropriate manner. He claims this is a political hit job, and he blames his former friends, his former colleagues in the National Party, pointing the finger at them, saying that they want to see him isolated and alone and under attack. Now, I spoke to the National Party, a National Party spokesperson, not long ago. I asked her whether that was the case. She said that the National Party have had nothing to do with the story and they have no interest in talking about Mr Ross.
So does all of this raise questions for Parliamentary Services?
Yes, well, it may do. The service initiated this investigation, of course. It is not making any comment to media, as it is an employment matter. That's not particularly surprising. They typically wouldn't comment in such a situation. But back in 2018, when those first harassment claims first came out, the Speaker, Trevor Mallard, launched a major inquiry into the workplace culture at Parliament. And it came back showing that there was a level of unacceptable behaviour in the corridors of power that was tolerated, that would not be tolerated elsewhere. At the same time, or a little bit earlier, those 4 women who Newsroom had spoken to in Newsroom's reporting were very critical of the way that Parliamentary Service had handled the matter, what they called a lack of oversight. And indeed today, Newsroom has gone back to some of those women. Again, they're quite critical. They say that Parliamentary Service has a lot to answer for, that they that people shouldn't have been put in this situation. Jami-Lee Ross says he welcomes the opportunity to engage in a fair process where natural justice applies and all perspectives are considered.
Thanks, Craig. That's Craig McCulloch joining us there live from our parliamentary office.